Hey all, welcome to Share Trek. This is Raj here. Friends, today I want to talk about CRISPR Therapeutics again because I keep on coming across news bites that are partly familiar and at the same time increasingly positive, because when I put all these pieces together, the emerging picture seems to be really bullish for CRISPR's prospects going forward. I'm sure that in these difficult times, all of us need to hear some good stories. I'm no different, and I'm seeing a lot of silver linings in these dark clouds for CRISPR. So I'd like to talk about that today. But before I proceed with the CRISPR story, I need to share something about this channel because you guys have been with me in this journey right from day one. Many of you have been very strong supporters who have given me advice and a lot of positive reinforcement to bring the channel to this stage. So I would like to disclose that the YouTube stats show that 57% of our viewers have not yet subscribed. Earlier, the number was 67%. So thanks to many of those who heard my call and subscribed. However, 57 not subscribed is still a big number. So please let me know how I can improve things. And subscription is free. So please pause the video right now, subscribe, and come back. You do a great deal of help to the channel. Greater the subscriber count we have, we'll find more influence in acquiring better guests and making better videos. And also, I would like to say that I keep on updating the community section on a daily basis with a lot of inspirational stuff. So please check the community section if it's something that might appeal to you. Because I am anyway doing the work, so you might as well have a look at it. And finally, it seems we have a diverse group of subscribers. A big portion here is for genomics shares, and another big portion here is for HIV details. So right now, I'm able to give HIV group only one day in a week, and they request more than that. I'm working on a Patreon system for the HIV group so that they can get dedicated channel for information on HIV and therapies. I appreciate your patience and support as I continue strategizing the growth of the channel and unraveling all the growth prospects that we have. I have set up a Patreon account and I'm working on configuring the Discord server. Once I'm ready, I'll be able to migrate the fresh HIV content and special HIV programming into the Discord for early release, into the Patreon and Discord system for early release. I'm pressed to do this as it takes a lot of bandwidth to do the HIV videos, and I need to get some support to keep up the pace and respond to the increasing demands for content in that segment. Meanwhile, this particular channel that we are in will continue to focus predominantly on genomic investments 6 days a week. One day of the week, I have HIV contents out here. That being said, let's get started. And I also look forward to your feedback in the comments below. Please let me know what you think about this plan. And with that said, I think I'm ready to start the CRISPR coverage. Welcome back. I'm so tempted to put my NVIDIA money into CRISPR right now as I see the low prices of CRISPR shares and the immense prospects in the very short term for CRISPR Therapeutics. And a short term in investment terminology is somewhere around 6 to 8 months. And that's the term I'm referring to out here. Let me first show a proof why I am not an outlier with this particular thought. And I would like to know what you guys think about it, especially those who have had CRISPR shares or are planning to buy CRISPR shares. Here is the repositioning happening in the genomics industry, the way I look at it. And this repositioning is what prompted me to make the video today. Right now, we have Bluebird Bio with Zynteglo and Vertex CRISPR combo, which is filing a rolling biologics license application or BLA for their gene-edited TDT. And friends, when a BLA gets approved, then you have approval to start selling the therapy. So Exa-cel is their gene therapy for sickle cell disease and TDT. So with this particular development, Zynteglo already being in there, and Vertex and CRISPR coming up with Exa-cel, which is imminent to be approved in a short period of time, we have seen some movement in repositioning of their portfolio by other big players. Other early stage players that have reported a series of setbacks so far have dismantled their sickle cell disease and TDT operations. 2 days ago, Intellia revealed in its quarterly results that Novartis had decided to discontinue its Intellia partnered sickle cell disease program. In January, Novartis announced that Adakveo, its sickle cell disease therapeutics that was approved in 2019, failed to produce rates of occlusive crisis, which is the painful symptoms that sickle cell disease patients have, in a phase 3 study where it was compared with a placebo, and it didn't do any better than the placebo. So further assessment is ongoing on the pharma, while the pharma works with regulators to determine the next steps. Adakveo is an antibody drug given by infusion once a month. A 2021 survey of physicians showed that a third of their sickle cell disease patients on average would be suitable for a gene therapy. Most physicians had a favorable view of two clinical candidates, Bluebird Labs' lentiglobin, which is Integlo, and CRISPR Therapeutics and Vertex's CTX001, which is Exa-cel. So even the physicians have a favorable rating for these two therapies. Elsewhere, in early January 2023, a company that we do not cover, which is Graphite Bio, announced its decision to scrap its lead gene editing SCD program in the wake of a safety issue, after which it announced a 50% downsizing, as well as started looking for strategic alternatives, which is shorthand for trying to find some way to stay afloat and pass a going concern on to anybody else if they are willing to take it over. This clears the field for Bluebird and the CRISPR Vertex combo to get a bigger share of the sickle cell disease in the TDT market. Based on what I have read so far, it seems that Exa-cel is a superior offering to Zynteglo because it involves editing the patient's hematopoietic stem cells to produce high levels of fetal hemoglobin. This in turn reduces the potentially painful vasco-occlusive crisis, the problem that Adakveo had, in which it was not able to reduce vasco-occlusive events in patients significantly in the STAND trials. And the European Medical Agency is taking a relook at the approval at this point of time. So that's the situation out there. So between Bluebird and CRISPR has greater cash balance and no debt, and also has a ton of alliances with a broad pipeline. We have already seen a steady drop in Bluebird share prices as the market is anxiously awaiting news from Bluebird about the number of patients enrolled in Zynteglo and what arrangements have been made for Skysona. So if they give that information, I can see Bluebird also picking up. But until they do that, the shares are going to be in a little bit of a free fall out there. And Vertex has also been excited about Exa-cel, and I think the CRISPR shares should soon start a prolonged bullish phase. The low share prices will not be a long-term phenomenon, so that is a very good window of opportunity, in my opinion, to grab some CRISPR Therapeutics shares. Of course, what I'm saying is my personal opinion as an individual investor. I'm not a financial advisor or a financial planner, so please do your own due diligence, talk to your own financial advisor before taking any investment decisions in this regard. But then you will ask me, Raj, you have been saying that Beam has got a much superior product to CRISPR. I'm not denying that. But when I look at the plans that Beam Therapeutics has, I don't see them coming up with an approved therapy for sickle cell disease this year. So that is the playing field is wide open for CRISPR Therapeutics. And I think they are very smart and they can get a head start with the lead that they have at this point of time. There is another strong prospect with CRISPR Therapeutics, and that is CTX110. In their latest earnings report, their CEO Samarth Kulkarni said, "We are excited by these results in our Carbon trial, which demonstrate the potential of a single course of allogenic CAR-T treatment to produce long-lasting complete remissions in heavily pre-treated patients with LBCL. Furthermore, we are encouraged by the emerging data using consolidation dosing, which has the potential to further improve the efficacy profile while maintaining a positively differentiated safety profile. Based on these results, we have initiated potentially registrational phase 2 trial of CTX110 incorporating consolidation dosing with the hope of bringing this important therapy to patients in the near term." So that's a pretty bullish statement out there. and also in terms of its progress in the FDA pipeline, CRISPR seems to be really confident, and the results are also looking good. And now CTX110 is a wholly owned allogeneic CAR T-cell therapy targeting CD19 B-cell malignancies. The approval of this therapy means CRISPR does not have to share the profits. We are witnessing the growth of a genomic company that has the potential to be a giant in the industry, and the current share price has a risk premium but looks attractive to me. I am now going to look at the TradingView charts. Well, here we are in the TradingView platform, and I'm looking at the chart for CRISPR Therapeutics. And what I would like to do is look at the high point for CRISPR Therapeutics that was in January 2021, at which time the share price was 220.52. So if I was to look at their cash position around that time, I think it was somewhere around 2.5 million or something in that vicinity. So they had a lot of cash at that time, for sure. But right now also they are not very worse off with cash, because as of December 31, 2022, they had $1.868 billion of cash in hand. So it's not that far off. There is not a big drop, and there is no increase in their debts either. So that way, financially, they are still healthy. But the drop in the cash is not, I think, sufficient to warrant such a huge drop in the share price, because just like in project management, we say accrued value. The same way, they have a lot of accrued value going into Exa-cel and CTX110. And also VCTX210, which is also doing good progress for type 1 diabetes. So all those value has been built over this period of time. And right now, what I'm looking at is a share price which is pretty attractive. I'm going to expand this chart so that you can see it more clearly. This is a chart which has got each candle as 1 day, and you will see that during the last trading day, which was Friday, 24th of February, 2023, we had support from 47.93, which is this line out here, horizontal line of support. And I'm going to make it a little more thick so smaller devices can see it clearly. So this is a very nice support line that we got here, and there's chances that we may fall down further, because if you look at the MACD and the momentum, they are looking weak. But one must realize that the entire market sentiment is negative, and people are not discriminating between good quality stock, risky stock, and any kind of stock. The rout is all across the board. Shares are losing value. If you take the case of NVIDIA also, which spurted significantly as soon as it pronounced its earnings, and with the AI buzz, but it also fell down around 3 to 4% in this market condition. So once people take the blinkers off and they have a look around and see what CRISPR is doing and all the potential that it has got in front of it, I think that the share price is likely to go up in a consistent basis. It's going to form a new bull channel. So in anticipation of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to create a new bull channel, and I'll keep on adjusting this as the market evolves. Right now I'm projecting that we are going to go along this bullish channel unless I'm proved wrong. So we'll take stock of what happens tomorrow. But we should realize that we have had a big fall from here, from this point where we were at $169. The peak was at around $220. So if I was to measure the drop from the peak to right now, we are at $48.02 at this point of time. So if I was to go approximately to $48.02, we have witnessed a drop in value of around 78%. And at that point of time when CRISPR Therapeutics share was at its peak, we did not have Exa-cel in a situation where it was 6 to 8 months away from being approved. It was not in a situation where the phase 1 was approved. The risk factors were very high for Exa-cel at that point of time. We also didn't have CTX110 in a potentially registrational situation with the FDA at that point of time. So if you look at all those things, and also VCTX for that matter, all these three therapies have made immense progress, and all of them have a great potential for bringing in huge revenues once they are approved. And therefore, I think CRISPR Therapeutics right now is in a bargain basement price, because if we were to go back further, and if we were to look at the early days of CRISPR Therapeutics, the early peak of CRISPR Therapeutics, somewhere around 23rd of May 2018, was around $73.85. At that time, CRISPR Therapeutics didn't have most of the assets that it has developed at this point of time. So it's rather crazy that the value of CRISPR Therapeutics is so low. It's not like they've lost a ton of money. They have almost $1.8 billion in their balance sheet. They have no debts. So it's a strong company, and they have so many alliances tied up, and they're working in agreement with various big pharma companies with milestone-based payments. And they have their own wholly owned CTX110, which is going to give them full benefits when it gets approved. So all in all, I think CRISPR is looking more and more exciting to me with every passing day. It's just the gloom of the overall market that's keeping us down. It's a fact that the Fed is going to increase the interest rates at least 50 basis points. It's a given. It's definitely going to happen. So if that is going to be the case, people are focused on the hawkish statement that's going to come from Fed because the inflation went up. And that's where people are all focusing. And in the process, people are getting a bit panicky, and nobody is looking at the assets that CRISPR Therapeutics is developing. And I always remember one of the lessons that I learned when I was doing my MBA. There was this Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So it's a pyramid in which at the bottom are the needs that are most important for humans: food, clothing, and shelter. And along with that, I would add medicine, because these are all vital for existence. So those are indispensable table stakes when it comes to a modern society. And medicine is always going to find a space in the consumer's wallet. And it'll always have a priority overall. And therefore, I'm thinking that CRISPR Therapeutics has got a much attractive future going forward. And of course, friends, I'm a bit biased with CRISPR Therapeutics, because right from day one, I have been a fan of CRISPR Therapeutics and CEO Samarth Kulkarni, and I've always said that it's a great company. And so far, they have not done anything that makes me change that opinion. And I think they're on the right track. I would like to hear from you guys. Please put it in the comment what you think. If you got any insights which contradicts my my thought process, I have an open mind, and I would like to consider that and do further research on it, so that for the whole community as such, and for myself as well, we have a balanced view, unbiased view of what CRISPR is looking like and what its prospects are going forward. So that's all from me for now, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this segment. Thanks, and have a great day. I'll catch up with you again. Bye for now.